Yo, what's up, fellow internet dwellers? It's me, papaGansley. Welcome back to the channel. Really like the momentum I've got with these new podcasts coming out. It's not going to stop anytime soon. This new podcast is a doozy. Really excited about it. Hope you like it. Enjoy. Alright, we're back with another episode. I got my boy Kyle here today. What's good, bro?
What's going on, man? How you doing?
I'm pretty good, man. It's been a while. I haven't chilled for like a couple months, maybe 6 months.
Yeah, I know. It's been hard. I've been well, first of all, I got a new job, so I've been like adjusting to that, and then the whole Smash Brothers thing.
Hell yeah.
It's been hard to find free time even for myself. So
I feel you, man. We're definitely in that stage these days. It's like hustle or fuck up,
Yeah. It's all good because we live right down the street from each other, so it's like, yo, you're trying to film a podcast? I'm like, yeah, sure.
Hell yeah.
I'm free today. I ain't doing anything.
Dude, so yeah, once I got a few podcasts off the ground, I was thinking of like more people to get in here, and you were definitely one of the first ones that came to mind because of what you've been up to for the last few years. So yeah, if those of you who don't know Kyle, he goes by Koopa, and he's been commentating on Smash 4 for the last 2 years since it came out. In 2016, he commentated at Genesis 3 and Pound and Super Smash Con. He also did Super Smash Con in 2017. In 2017, you also did Shine and Frostbite, and then you did Frostbite again this year, and you did Overclocked 3 this year, Collision 15. And you got Glitch 4 coming up?
I actually just got back from Glitch yesterday.
Oh, Glitch was yesterday.
Yeah, so that was a lot of fun. So a little bit of content. So yeah, I'm a competitive Super Smash Brothers player, but I'm more so of a commentator. So I'm the guy that talks about the game for people who don't really know what that means.
Nice. Yeah, dude, and you've been hustling, bro. I mean, like being a Smash commentator is. You can't just write Smash Commentator in your Instagram bio and you're a Smash Commentator.
Yeah.
Which that happened. You see people out there. I appreciate, like, trying to get out there.
Yeah, but, like there's plenty of people that I run into nowadays, especially since I've been doing this for so long. Like, the first things that always come out of their mouth is like, yeah, bro, like, I stream Call of Duty sometimes. Like, I'm not kind of nice at Call of Duty, like, some shit like that. So it's like, it's definitely been an arduous process. My situation's a little bit different than most because, in my opinion, I kind of just stepped in it. So
yeah, dude, let's talk about that a little bit. You started doing it at our regional place, Hitbox Arena, and it's in Kinnelon, right?
Yeah, it's in Kinnelon. So
that's like how you got your foot in the door, right?
Yeah. So God, it's crazy because like 2 years doesn't seem like that long a time, but it's been a while. So like
yeah, dude, you've been out there, bro. Like the amount of things that you've done, I'm just like, damn, bro, he's doing it.
Yeah. So basically, how it all got started is there's a little documentary that came out back in 2012, 2013.
Hell yeah.
Called The Smash Brothers, which really kind of sparked a lot of people's interest into the competitive scene of Super Smash Brothers Melee. So
dude, that document sparked my interest in streaming and making content.
No. It was revolutionary. So like I label myself as a doc kid, which like
me too.
Yeah. Nowadays, depending on who you talk to, that kind of comes off as a stigma because like there's some people that swear by the doc and don't.
Yeah, because they've been in it since Melee. And
So I watch it. I'm like, yeah, this is cool. So and it came out. I watched it at the perfect time because Smash for Wii U was coming out around the end of that year. It was around like November of 2014, I believe, is when the game was going to come out. And I was like, yeah, you know what? I'll play it. I'll check it out. And then in the back of my mind, I never thought that I would become a commentator. It's just kind of one of those things. It's like yeah, I'll do it. And then, I started going to Hitbox, like you said. It's about 20-ish minutes from where we reside. And, I went and I competed, and it quickly dawned on me. It's like, I might not be that good at this. Like to put in it's from someone that knows a lot of the people that like play this competitively. The amount of time that they have to put into this to be good, like at a consistent level, is crazy. So the fact, I got my shit kicked in like regularly. So
yeah, dude. Every time I went there, I was having kids hand my ass to me on a silver platter.
Yeah, these kids are crazy, man. Especially like I'll talk more about it later, but like some of like the top level players are all like 15, 16, 17 years old.
Yeah.
So like if I had that kind of free time when I was 17, I'd still probably be pretty bad, all things considered. But I think I'd be kind of nice. That'd still be bad.
No, I totally agree.
So, yeah, commentary kind of came to me as, you know, I wasn't doing that great in bracket, and I'm just like, I want to do something to kind of like, you know, like make my time useful here. So, the local scene we went to had a streaming setup where they'd stream the tournaments on Twitch, and it's not as new a commodity as it was in the past. Where like it's a lot newer now, or where we were back in 2014, because not every local would have the means to stream an event. And,
right.
And Hitbox had they had their own setup and stuff like that, and it was really, really cool.
Yeah.
So,
Shout out to Hitbox Arena, dude. That setup isn't like that's not like a ghetto rig setup. Like their setup is that's a quality stream.
They're actually moving locations.
Really?
Yeah.
Bigger place?
I'm not totally sure yet, but the owners talked to me, and you know, he said that they're looking to moving to a bigger place, and it's great for them. So like every time I talk about commentary, you know, I'm always very grateful for the opportunity they gave me, because I was just kind of a shitter that just kind of went up there and I'm like, okay, I did this. So I commentated at some of their local stuff, and then I commentated at one of their bigger events, and that was I think in January of 2015. And then some of the guys that I'd met there, one of the guys messaged me. He goes by the name of Riz.
Riz, I've seen Riz there. Yeah.
So Riz,
he's knocked me out of like the few tournaments.
Yeah, he's still really good. And so he messaged me one day. I hardly knew the guy. He's like, "Yo, man, your commentary is like really nice." I was like, so to hear that was kind of nice. That an outsider was like, "Yeah, you know, your commentary is good." I'm like, "Okay, that's whatever." So then, throughout the rest of 2015. I was just I commentated at locals. You know, there's a bunch of stuff around the area. I looked into who to talk to, and through the people I met at Hitbox, I'd meet other people. And so through Riz, I met a gentleman by the name of Gunblade.
Gunblade, yes.
So Gunblade is one of the more established commentators in the area from back in Super Smash Bros. Brawl. He was one of the. There's like four guys that there's about four guys that I think of that would commentate.
Is like Orion one of those guys?
Orion was one of the guys, but I always associate him as a player first.
Yeah, he was a big Brawl guy.
Yeah, he was a big Brawl player. But the likes of Pierce 70 is a guy that comes to mind. There's a gentleman by the name of Max Ketchum, who's also very big, and he was very big in the scene in Brawl. And then there was Gunblade, and there was kind of those three guys. Another guy by the name of Coontail, who doesn't really do much nowadays, but he was a big influence in Brawl, and he's a guy that I looked into, because when I watched the documentary, I'm just like, yeah, you know, these guys are cool. So I just wanted to like learn the rich history of Smash. So through Riz, I met Gunblade, and then we all went out to dinner one time after a tournament, and we were just kind of talking about commentators. And then Riz from across the table, he's like, yo, you know who's a really good commentator? Kyle is. And like, I'm just like, you know, I'm trying to play it off modest, because like I'm not trying to look like a fucking like schmuck in front of these guys.
Right, yeah.
Like, I'm not trying to bite off more than I can chew. I'm just like, oh, okay, you know, I'm all right, yada yada yada. And then, you know, the more I started to hang out with these guys, the more they're like, yeah, you know what? There might be something there. So there's one tournament that comes to mind. It was a tournament series called Qatar, which it takes place in Elizabeth. You know, it's kind of like a semi-annual. It was one of the big regionals. It's like you say the name and people already want to show up. So
yeah,
that's where I kind of got my first big break at the local regional level, because you know I got to commentate on like a really, really big name stream, you know, not trying to knock Hitbox or anything, but like I was getting called up to the big leagues at that point.
Yeah.
So I did some teams, and then that's when I got to commentate with Gunblade for the first time. And you know, he said that he was really impressed with me, and he's a really hard guy to impress. Like a lot of the old school guys, they're very, very hard. They're really, really hard to like impress on like on the first impression type level.
Right, of
so
course.
he was like, yeah, you know what, you were really, really good, because he's usually like people go out of their way to ask him he's like, hey, can I commentate with you? And he's always like, no, because like they're, you know, most of them are usually pretty bad, like, all things considered. But he said he wanted to commentate with me, and I was like, okay, maybe I'm onto something here. So for the rest of that year, you know, I'd just be doing all the local stuff and yada yada yada, just continuing to get my feet wet, doing a lot of the regional events. And then it was going into January of 2016 where a lot of my friends and I were like, oh, Genesis 3 is coming up, and The Genesis series is like one of the oldest. It has a lot of history in Smash.
Right.
Like the first two Genesis is Genocide, however you fucking pronounce it. I'm not totally sure myself, but it's one. Those are some of the most like historic tournaments of all time, both in Melee and Brawl. Like they were really, really big deals, and the tournament had gone without a series for years at the time. So the last one happened in like 2011 or something like that. It was a long time coming. So naturally, everybody was really excited about it. So I was like, okay, I want a piece of the action. So let me see if I can make the means to go out there. And then came the time to apply for commentary, and everybody in my corner was telling me, just do it. Yeah. Why don't you give it a shot? And I'm like, you know what? Sure. It's like take a shot in the dark, see what happens. And then I got selected. And I always remember the day when it happened because I was at my old job at the time. I worked as a gas attendant.
Right, I remember. Seeing you there all the time.
Yeah, well, that was something. So it was at like 8 o'clock at night, and I got an email, and it said, "Congratulations, you've been selected to the Genesis 3 commentary roster." And I flipped my fucking shit. I was freaking out because, you know, I'd been telling my parents I'd been doing this, and they're just like, you know what, whatever. Like, they didn't really, they're parents. They don't
it's hard to grasp, like, this whole thing if you don't know anything about it.
Yeah, they don't really they didn't really understand it then, but then when I showed them, I was like, hey, listen, like, I got picked to do, like, tons of people applied for this. Like, I think it was, like, a sum out of, like, 80 casters applied, and only, like, 12 or 14 guys got picked. So, like, it was at that point where it kind of set into my parents, were like, okay, like, maybe we should be taking this a little bit more seriously for your sake, because I'm still like a 20-year-old, like, you know, scratching my ass type of dude. Like I still don't know what the hell's going on. So, but my parents were all about it after that point. I helped my dad download Twitch because he wanted to watch it.
Hell
and
yeah.
Then, you know, we went out there. It was to this day still one of my favorite events, just because of how monumental it was for me personally. And the rest has just been kind of gravy. So, and here we are now.
Hell yeah, dude. So yeah, dude, let's talk about like your consistency, because like most people who, you know, are out here doing this, you know, commentating, making content for the internet, it seems that a common pattern is consistency. You can't just like disappear and then like expect to come back. Like,
yeah. I was gonna say there's definitely documented cases of people that kind of, not everybody makes it, you know, even from transitioning into Brawl into Smash 4, like a name we just mentioned, Orion. Orion was a commentator and a player who was pretty prevalent, but he kind of fizzled out. He didn't really enjoy the game that much. Mm-hmm. And then there's another guy like Coontail, who I just mentioned, who commentated a lot in the tri-state area for Brawl, and he didn't make the transition either. But, you know, with the old guard going down rises the new guard. So naturally, like, I'm a guy that, like I said, I kind of stepped in it. I became very lucky because a lot of the big wigs in Tri-State, they grew to liking to me. They like me as a person first and foremost, which is huge.
I mean, like, that's networking 101. You can't be a douchebag.
Yeah, no. You can be a douchebag after they're friends with you.
Yeah. But different kind of douchebag.
Yeah, pretty much. So, like, you know, I kind of just stepped in it. Like, a lot of the local guys liked me, and through that, I was able to build other relationships. Like, the way my work ethic goes is that I like to let these people know that, like, I want to be their friends. I want to drink beers with them after the tournaments.
Hell yeah.
I've made my roots that way. So, you know, in the beginning, it's just like, okay, you know, I'm not going to school. I have a job that lets me have free time. I'm just going to go to anything I want to, everything I can fucking go to.
Hell yeah.
And that's kind of the way you get your foot in the door. You know, you just keep on going. You keep on trucking. And I think in 2016, I went to 3 or 4 out of region tournaments. So, like, and I'm not much of a traveler before this. Like, you know, I'd go to my occasional anime convention in the state of Ohio.
Yeah,
but from that year alone, I went to Maryland and Virginia like multiple times a year. I went to California in the beginning of the year. So
hell yeah.
Yeah, it's a hard grind, but you know, if you want to stay relevant and into good graces with people, you gotta put the work in. Like, there's plenty of people that fizzle out. They'll have like their one hit wonder of a tournament, and then they'll just kind of hit the ground. So,
dude, like, another thing I want to talk about of being consistent. You mentioned before, like, you had a new job. Like, you don't do this full time. Like, you have a job. Like, what's like balancing your regular job and this like?
Yeah, so it's been a little bit more manageable now, but at the same time, there's things that are a little bit worse about it. So, In the past, I worked 2 part-time jobs, so naturally the benefit to that is I have a lot more free time. Like there's a lot more time, there's a lot more hours in a day for me to go to things, a lot more time for me to go to, I can
maybe a little bit easier to ask off.
Yeah, exactly. Cases. Like if I can get a cover for my shift, I can take off to do whatever the hell I want.
Right.
But the downside of that is that like I'm not making like it's hard making money in what I do. Especially as a new guy starting out, because there's already people that are established already.
Right.
There's people that are making like they're do this for mostly for their livelihood.
Right. They've been doing this. There's people out there. This isn't like a new thing.
Yeah. There's people that make like a lot of money doing this. It's good enough money to pay the rent pretty much.
Right.
So as a guy starting out, I'm not getting anything. It's mostly exposure, which is exactly what you need to start out with.
Exactly.
So I would say it was easier to get the time off with my older jobs, but I'm still not making a lot of money to begin with because they're part-time jobs. So I'm going negative going to a lot of these events. Like it's ramen noodles and water for like weeks on weeks afterwards.
Straight up, yeah.
So
yeah, because like going to a tournament, even if you do get paid, like they're not flying you anywhere. You're getting yourself there.
Yeah, like
people forget that's money.
Yeah, pretty much. So fast forward to March of last year, I got a new job. It's a big boy job.
Nice.
So I make good money for someone that still lives at home and doesn't pay a lot of bills. I have more steady income, and I'm not going broke every week like I would in the past. But at the same time, I have to be a little bit more careful with the days I take off from my job. So I'm at the point now where I'm kind of just cherry picking what I want to go to, and I'm very transparent with my boss. I let them know it's like, hey, listen, like
I do this.
Yeah, this is kind of a thing that I do, and and they think it's fine as long as I'm transparent about it. So
yeah.
So they both come with their own pros and cons, but I think there's also plenty of people that I know that are bigwigs that also work full time, and commentate at the same time, and even the guys that commentate more frequently, they still work on their own time as streamers. So everybody kind of has a job at some point. But then there's the people that work in the industry still that they stream on Twitch 7 days a week and still get to commentate. But then there's the other guys, the blue collar guys like me, that we work a lot and then we take advantage of the fact that we can get paid time off to do this type of stuff.
Right. That's awesome, dude. Another thing I was gonna say about like your consistency and this keep on going, like you're being humble about like what you do, but I gotta say, like, I am impressed like by what you do, dude. Like your Smash IQ is high, dude. Like you know what you're talking about. You're not fucking around out there.
Yeah, I kind of I like to equate that to just passion and a slight case of autism. Because like as growing up, like I've always kind of like, if I really like something, like I put my time into learning everything about it. Like if I like a movie, I look in, if there's a movie I like growing up, I look into the lore of the movie. If there's a game that I like, I look into the lore of everything growing up. And then I've always loved Super Smash Brothers. Like every kid's loved Super Smash Brothers.
Staple video game.
It's been a part of my childhood for years. So when I had the opportunity to be able to do this, and when I learned there was a competitive scene behind it, I was like, I suck at regular sports, so why not play esports? And then the more bigger I got into it, the more it's like, okay, I had to start taking it seriously. So eventually, as I saw my kind of role in the scene grow a little bit more, that's when I was like, okay, I have to start actually taking it seriously, because if I'm not providing a good product for the people at home, then someone else will do it for me.
Right.
So it's a dog eat dog world out here.
100%. Dude, another thing I want to mention is that it may be like a side effect of your commentating career is your Twitter, bro. Your Twitter game is pretty fire, bro. You got some funny shit coming out there.
Yeah, man. So that's honestly been like the most surprising part for me, honestly, because like I've had a Twitter since I was in high school, but like it was just me retweeting memes and shit, like not really saying anything of purpose. So I think when I broke into the scene, I had around like 600 something followers, and I wasn't really gaining much traction like locally, but there's two things that happened to me that really kind of brought it all home for me. It's like I've always wanted to have more social media followers than the hot girls in high school who only got followers because they were hot.
Yeah, same. Preach.
Like I'm out here like posting this fire content, and you just post a selfie and you have over like 800 weird guys following you on the internet. So it was actually after Genesis, where I went from around like 650 followers to almost 900 in 2 days.
Damn.
So it's crazy. Like, if people like you, they'll be receptive. And I think now I'm sitting around like 2,400 something.
Yeah,
so.
dude. Like the increase in your followers has been like pretty steady. Also, like, dude, like the Vegeta tweet, bro. This pen looks like Vegeta, bro.
Yeah.
I saw that. I was like, damn, that's funny as hell.
No,
and then the next day, I'm like, bro, he's got fucking 3,000, 8,000 fucking likes and shit on there.
No, you got to see the new one I posted. It's my new pin tweet. So.
Oh, something about fucking chilling dude and Zuckerberg.
Yeah,
right?
so like it was topical in the past, but so there was a money match between two Melee players where this one guy got his shit kicked in, and the camera zooms in like really close on his face, and
he looks distressed.
Yeah, he looks like someone just like murdered his family in front of him. So then I took a picture of Mark Zuckerberg while he was on trial for the whole Facebook thing, and I posted them together, and then I hit 12K Twitter likes. So
yeah, dude,
it's funny. It's sometimes like my friends like to say that I find new ways to break the internet every couple of weeks because I'll just tweet something stupid and it'll just catch wildfire.
Yeah, dude. I mean, it's funny. It's funny that that's happened. Like your Twitter has become somewhat of a community on there. Like your tweets always stem conversations, and like a few have gone viral. It's just like yeah, it's funny how that stemmed from this whole commentating thing.
Yeah, Twitter's been a great tool because I've been able to meet so many awesome people, like just through social media that I eventually end up meeting in real life, and it's also really cool. Like, it's still a little jarring to me because I'm still, in my opinion, I'm still kind of new to this whole thing. Like, I've only been doing it for like the past 2 or 3 years or whatever. So, when I go out in the public and like I'm standing in a Shake Shack in Boston and some kid comes up to me, he's like, "Yo, man, I really like your commentary and I follow you on Twitter," and that means something. Like,
yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool, and I love it every time. I love being able to interact with people that like me. I like to humble myself. I like to be very approachable. So
right.
The whole thing, it blows my mind, and I love it.
Dude, so another thing I want to talk about is, all right, so after like when when like this whole Twitter thing, like you started to like get some traction on Twitter like that, I saw you tweeting at this one streamer who since then like I've gotten into, and she's become like my like main source of knowledge. She's like my unofficial sensei for like learning how to stream and just like make content in general. And that's Sacred Fire 3.
Yes, the legendary Sacred Fire 3. Yeah, Allie's been really cool.
Yeah, bro. Solid streamer.
Yeah, I met her through that's a case of me meeting someone through the internet. So I had we both had a mutual friend. They were both on the same esports team. And then I looked at the content that she made because she was a streamer and she does a lot of Pokemon and Smash stuff.
Hell yeah! And shout out to Sacred Fire 3, bro. Fucking great streamer.
Yes, for sure. She's awesome. So I met her through that, and then we both kind of started. I started frequenting her streams a lot. And then I'm a mod in her Twitch chat.
Yeah. You got modded, yeah.
Yeah. It kind of just came about. I'm just like, yeah, you know what? I'm here pretty frequently, so I might as well just like apply for it. And we met each other at Pound that year when I went, and we talk pretty semi frequently. So Allie's awesome. Like, shout outs to her. She's been doing her own thing, like making great strides for herself. So I just love seeing my friends be successful in things.
Hell yeah, like that's a serious Twitch stream that I've loved to watch that come up. Like I love that stream. But another thing about streaming, let's talk about Master Hand Gaming a little bit. What's that? What's that these days?
So Master Hand Games is we are the premier streaming site for Super Smash Bros. In the Tri-State area. Because for a while, New Jersey Smash kind of had a little bit of a dull period because the main streamer used to be Keitaro, a gentleman who is very established in Brawl as a commentator and a player. And in Smash 4, he still is a pretty established commentator and player. And he's also one of my very good friends. Like, he's another one of those guys where I wouldn't be where I'm at without his support and like him helping me out, because having a stream that gets like thousands of viewers like on a weekly basis, that helps a lot. So so they used to stream a lot of the locals around our area for a long time, and then he moved back in, I think, in early 2000 and it was early 2017. So the local scene was kind of struggling a little bit for a while to kind of get that established stream, and then Master Hand Games came along, and they're hosting a lot more events, you know, all up and down in New Jersey, both north and south. And I did not get involved with them until I think it was November of last year. You know, because I'd been a member, I'd been under the Hitbox Arena banner for years, and then eventually, you know, there were some creative differences, and I was like, you know, I'm at a point where I need to start looking at what's better for myself.
Hell yeah.
So,
always.
you know, like I said, I'm very thankful for everything Hitbox has done for me. Without them, I wouldn't be where I am right now.
Wait, but do you commentate there at all anymore?
I still do. It's been a little bit harder because I haven't been able to run as much Smash stuff as recently, but, you know, whenever they have an event that I can go to, I always, you know, let Johnny know. I'm like, hey, listen, if you need me, I'll be here. And, you know, we have some stuff planned for the future for when they move locations. So.
Wait, so when you stream on Twitch.tv Master Hand Gaming?
Yeah.
So are you meeting up with this guy or like?
Yeah. So basically, they host the local events in our area. So the guy that runs Master Hand Games is a guy named Chris, and he's become a very good friend of mine. And
Shout out Chris.
Yeah, I love Chris. Chris has been great, and the team's also co-owned by like the second best player in the state, which is really funny. So shout outs to James. He's a cool dude. And,
Hell yeah.
So you know, I'd been kind of like doing my own thing for a while, and I've always been a big fan of what Master Hand Games puts out because the production quality is fantastic. Like the overlays always look good. You know, they use like custom music mod packs for the stages, so it always keeps things interesting. And the production quality is so professional for a local stream. It's fantastic.
I've definitely felt the same way when I've watched some of those streams. What streaming service do they use? Are they using OBS?
OBS? Yeah, they use OBS. Like,
bro, you can finesse OBS, dude.
Yeah, man. Like Chris is a magician with some of the things he's able to do sometimes. So we all went out to dinner one time, and I was like, you know what? I extended the olive branch, and I was like, listen, man, like you're doing great things, and you know, they were kind of plateauing a little bit. They're like, yeah, you know, we're so like he has got ambitions for himself. That's why I like him. He's very passionate. Like we're both looking big picture all the time. Like never settling for complacency. You know,
you can't, bro. Can't settle. Never.
Yeah, never. So I told him like, listen, like I can provide something for you in the realm of exposure. Like I can be your champion in places that you can't get to. So then we talked about it and we discussed it over, and I've pretty much become like the voice of Master Hand Games on a national level.
Hell yeah!
It's been a fantastic marriage. Like me and Chris are always shooting ideas back and forth to each other. Like we're always looking for new ways, you know, to up to production quality, to you know, to give back to the scene, to make things, you know, to produce content of our own.
Hell yeah!
So. You know, it's been a great ride, and yeah, it's been awesome. I love it.
Dude, so talking about producing content of your own, aside from Master Hand Gaming, you don't do any streaming like just as Koopa, like
no,
from home,
I do
right?
not. Unfortunately, I'm so lazy about it. Like,
but like it's like something you've thought about.
It's something I've definitely thought about doing, and it's something people have been telling me to do. You know, I have a Twitch page, obviously, because you know I'm a mod in someone else's chat, and just to keep up to date with everything else.
Of course.
So, I would love to do content of my own. It's just a matter of me getting the money in the right place.
Dude, I remember like maybe like a year we talked about like you were gonna buy like a mobile streaming setup from somebody, or that didn't happen, or
yeah, something happened. Some stuff kind of fell through the cracks, and I was in a position where I'm like, I'd rather just do my own thing. Like there was a guy I was gonna buy like a pre-made PC from, but you know, I ran into some financial stuff on my own. You know, adult shit happens sometimes.
Dude, shit happens, bro.
But it's definitely something I still plan on doing. You know, people tell me, you know, you have a great. And people tell me all the time I'm very charismatic to be. Yeah, you'd be a great streamer, especially because I love to play other games other than Smash. So.
And dude, like you know how to commentate a video game, like
I talk about a video game pretty damn good.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah, you do.
So you know, in the future, it's definitely something I have plans for. You know, stay tuned. We'll see what happens.
Hell yeah. Bro, I gotta get you over here some night. Just fucking give me the hands and smash on stream.
Yeah, man. Especially with a new game coming out. this year. It's definitely, you know, everybody's kind of fallen into a little bit of a lull now. Like the competitive scene's kind of like, you know, everyone's kind of getting stale of what's going on. But you know, Smash4sh has really started to reinvigorate people a little bit.
Yeah, dude, Smash4sh. I'm pretty excited for that. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like, I am guilty of, you know, falling away from Smash 4. You know, partially because I, like, getting your ass handed to you in tournaments is demoralizing. But, like, you just gotta push through that.
Yeah, it's
you
rough.
definitely gotta push through
It's really
that.
rough.
But yeah, Smash4sh, dude, like, when they put Smash on the 3DS, like, I got it, and I was like, sick, this is gonna be awesome portable Smash. I was wrong about that. I couldn't get into it.
Yeah, it was just, the 3DS version was good for what it was able to do. It was just there to hold you over till the actual game came out.
Yeah.
It was fun, and there's still certain places that'll still hold, like, competitive
3DS tournaments?
Yeah, for the 3DS tournaments, because all the content carries over for the most part. But,
Right.
it still obviously fell, but way in comparison to the Wii U version. But you know, now with this, like, I just got a Switch a few months ago. So, dude, I think they did the direct when they announced Smash on a Thursday. I bought my Switch that Friday.
Hell yeah!
Because I knew it's just like, okay, I have to get ahead of the game, because it's a little weird for me now, going from Smash Wii U into Smash Switch, because I'm already established. So I think I can, you know, I want to, you know, stay ahead of the game. I don't want to be in a situation where I fall behind because I don't have the hardware, you know, to keep up with everything. So I'm really excited about it. Everyone else seems to be, and you know, June 12th is when a lot of our questions will be answered. So I'm very much looking forward to it.
Yeah, dude, I'm pretty confident, like, at least for myself, that Smash4sh is gonna keep me playing a lot. Like, I got the Switch when it released, and dude, like, I have been gaming more than ever, dude, because like when I'm not here streaming, I got the Switch on me. If I ever like get a moment to myself where I'm like away from my consoles, like, dude, I got my console in my backpack.
That's so fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Like, it's to this day, it still blows my mind where like I love playing video games, and I've kind of fallen off playing video games because, you know, I've been busy with work, and I just don't have the time to sit down in front of my TV, you know, to log like 40 hours of an RPG.
Right.
Now it's just like, oh wait, I can just play this wherever the fuck I want.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
It's awesome. Like the Switch is easily like one of the best technological investments I've ever made. I love my Switch. It's been fantastic.
Yeah, dude, it really is nice. Like, it hasn't lost any of its shimmer to me. It's like, it still gives me that feeling of like, when I'm playing the Switch and I'm into it, I get deja vu of being in second grade and just destroying Brock and Misty. And like, dude, it's just like, it's crazy how they've been able to mimic that or replicate that.
Yeah, it's been fantastic.
Yeah.
And I've been you know, I just finished Mario Odyssey. That game was fucking fantastic.
Phenomenal game.
You know, but you know.
What, did you finish the story or like?
Yeah, I finished the whole main story.
Nice,
so
nice.
The game was fantastic, and there's still plenty of titles I have to catch up on, because since I bought my Switch a little bit later into the game, there's still plenty of things I have to play. You know, I have to play. There's Breath of the Wild I have to play.
Oh, dude, you didn't even play that on Wii U?
No, I did not.
Oh,
I wanted to wait until I could properly play it before I got it. So
dude, they outdid themselves. Playing Breath of the Wild is, the whole time I play it, I just think to myself, what the fuck is next for Zelda? How can they top this? Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's been a wild ride so far.
But yeah, dude. So what's your next move, dude? Any more tournaments coming up?
Yeah. So now we're kind of getting into the busy season of Smash for the most part, because we're kind of on the cusp of the last big summer for Smash 4 for the most part. So a lot of these summer events are gonna be pretty big. Like I said, I just got back from Blitz yesterday, so that was a lot of fun.
Hell yeah.
Shout out to Susanna, dude. That whole location is great.
Nice.
So, my MO has always been I like to do everything on the East Coast, because it's my coast. I can easily get to it via car. If I can drive to it, I can go to it. So that's my plan. I have outside of like the monthly things that we do in New Jersey, like, you know, I'm doing the monthly stuff next weekend. We have a regional coming up on the 26th of May in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, that I'll be manning, stream my Master Hand games. CEO in Daytona Beach, Florida is something I plan on going to.
Oh, hell yeah.
That's at the end of June, and then, you know, then I got stuff like SmashCon and Shine coming up again in August. So those happen in Virginia and Boston respectively. So I'm still grinding, man. We're out here, but at least no heavy traveling at least until the end of next month.
Word. You any up and coming smashers you think we should look out for?
Ooh. God, that's really, really hard.
I know that's a tough question.
Yeah, so obviously there's the established guard in New Jersey. Like, the best player is a gentleman by the name of Nairo. He still holds a chokehold over the region for the most part.
If you play the game, you know who that is.
Yeah, for sure. So there's one guy I'm going to make reference to. And maybe it'll trigger my memory of somebody else. So there's a Fox player in New York by the name of Odyssey. And he's 15 years old, tall drink of water too. Like, this guy looks like he's at least 20, but he's a child, and he's been slowly been on the come up since I think early in the year, and he's really, really fucking good. So he's definitely somebody that I look at who's got a lot of potential moving forward. But there's so many good players, but he's definitely someone that comes to mind because I've seen. I always love watching people grow from the basement, and make their way into to a level where they can get ranked in their state.
Hell yeah.
So he's definitely somebody that comes to mind, but there's so many good players. Everybody's so fucking good at this game. It's crazy.
Yeah,
so.
The skill level is just new tiers are being born. It's pretty impressive what people are able to do with this game these days.
Yeah, it's fantastic. And like I said, with a new game on the horizon, it's going to breed a new generation of top players and, top commentators. So it's going to be cool being able to be the guy to grandfather somebody else along the way. Like so many others did for me in this game. So I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Hell yeah. Awesome, dude. But yo, so dude, we need to hit up Colossal Con this summer. We missed last summer.
Yeah, man.
We hit 2015. We hit 2016.
Yeah,
2017 was a crazy work year.
We'll see what's in the cards. I don't know. We'll see what's going on. But I'm definitely about it if it's feasible. If we can't, we should definitely go to Colossal Con East because that's happening a lot closer.
That's not Ohio? What?
No. Colossal Con East. So Colossal Con is the main con that happens in Sandusky, Ohio.
Right.
But then they have Colossal Con East in the Poconos.
Dude.
Yeah. We should definitely hit a convention up at some point.
Yeah, we need to, bro. That was really fun. Those two.
It's a lot of fun. It's so hard with Smash because I'm a convention guy too. As you know that because we've gone to 2 conventions together.
Yeah.
But I love going to conventions and it's actually been really cool for me as of recently because one of my best friends actually works for Crunchyroll.
Really?
So, yeah, one of my friends is an associate producer at Crunchyroll, so
damn.
I'm definitely trying to frequent. He's always like, "Yo, man, if you're ever in the area for a convention, feel free to hit me up." So it's been cool. I've been trying to go out to more convention-y things just for the sake of being able to see my more of my friends. So we'll see. We'll plan something out.
All right, dude. Nice. All right, this has been a good one, dude.
Yeah, this is fun. This is a lot of fun. I'd love to do this again sometime.
No, we definitely will, bro. The content game is strong, dude. I'm finally starting to get a little momentum here, putting out more content. I'm streaming on Twitch, making some videos. It's coming along, dude.
Yeah, man. Thank you for having me. This has been a lot of fun.
Hell yeah, dude. Yo, shout out to anybody we talked about during this. Shout out to Sacred Fire 3. Shout out to Master Hand Gaming. Shout out to Hitbox Arena, dude. Follow all those guys on Twitch, social medias. Follow Kyle on social medias. Look what this guy's got in store, yo. He's making moves, dude.
Yeah, my Twitter's at Koopa NJ, New Jersey, and then my Instagram's the same thing. I'm trying to post more pictures on Instagram because I think I want to be able to showcase more of my gaming side to people when I go out places, and that's been pretty well received for the most part. So that's a lot of fun. So check me out there. I tweet about tournaments and memes and all that fun shit. So if you're ever in the area.
Super entertaining Twitter. Hell yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
But yeah, dude, keep it up, man. I'm super impressed with your hustle, dude. I love to see you winning.
Thank you, man.
Yeah,
I appreciate it. We've been friends for a long time, so you've always been one of the loudest people in my corner, and that definitely does not go unnoticed. You're a homie to the end of time, so I appreciate that.
Hell yeah, bro. We gotta do some cool things soon, dude. Thanks for listening, bro. This has been another one. Catch me on Twitch later tonight. Peace, guys.
See you.
Okay. I had to level up. Yeah. I had to level up. talking down on me, and they get under me. I had an epiphany. It turned